All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that, let's be honest, haunts the dreams of so many students, the thesis. But we've got a fantastic guide, the book How to Write a Better Thesis by Evans, Gruba, and Zobel. And trust me, it's filled with these mind-blowing insights that could honestly change everything about how you approach this huge task.
So, Section 1, a universal nightmare. And look, if you're a grad student, you know this feeling deep in your bones, right? That thesis is just looming, and the sense of dread washes over you. You feel totally overwhelmed, completely unprepared, and you keep telling yourself, I'm just not ready to write yet. Well, guess what? You are so not alone in feeling that way.
The book introduces us to this PhD student, Karen, and her excuse is probably gonna sound, well, pretty familiar. She's just stuck in this endless loop, telling herself, I just have to read a few more papers and then I can start writing. The authors see right through this. They call it what it is, a classic trap. It's the kind of procrastination that paralyzes you before you even put pen to paper. So what is going on here? Why is writing a thesis so incredibly hard? Is it because you don't know enough or you're not trying hard enough? According to the book, the answer is a big no. The real problem, the thing that trips almost everyone up, is a huge misunderstanding of what a thesis is even for. Okay, let's get into Section 2, your audience of 2. And you're going to want to listen closely here because this is probably the single most important mindset shift in the entire book. The key to actually conquering your thesis isn't about working harder. It's about understanding who you are really writing for. So we all have this picture in our heads, right? We think a thesis is this grand, sweeping report of our research findings meant for the entire world to read, but the book just shatters that idea. The reality, it's an examination paper, and its main job, its only job really, is to convince just 2 people, your examiners, that you've earned your degree. That's it. Mind-blowing, right?
Yeah. Think about it like this. Your thesis is the final exam of what the book calls your research apprenticeship. You're not supposed to be changing the world with this one document. Not yet, anyway. You're just proving that you're ready to be, as they put it, admitted to the community of scholars. Just realizing this is a total game changer. It's an exam, not your life's masterpiece.
So once you really let that sink in, that you're writing an exam paper for just 2 people, well, everything starts to change. And this leads us to Section 3, writing is thinking. The first new rule you can adopt is to completely flip how you think about writing. It is not the last step, it's the first. And this shift is huge. It turns writing from this painful chore at the end into your single most powerful tool for discovery. See, writing isn't just for reporting the results you've already figured out. Writing is the process of figuring them out. It's how you actually battle with your own ideas and find clarity. It's how you get that crucial feedback from people early on. And it's how you give your whole project a solid shape right from the very beginning. All right, Section 4, the narrative is key. So let's recap. You're writing for an audience of 2, and you're using that writing to actually think. So, what are you building? The book's answer is brilliant and simple. You're building a story. You're not just a reporter spitting out facts, you're a storyteller. And I absolutely love this distinction the authors make between structure and narrative. Structure, that's just the skeleton, right? It's your chapters, your headings. But the narrative? Oh, the narrative is the soul of your thesis. It's the logical story you weave through that skeleton, the thing that actually guides your reader on a journey, taking them from what they already know to the brand new insights you're about to give them. And this quote from the book just perfectly captures this idea of your role as the author. It's about recognizing, hey, I had to fumble around and make mistakes to get here, but that's not what this paper is about. No, your job now is to write the guidebook that helps the next person, your examiner, get to that same knowledge painlessly. You hide all the messy parts, all the dead ends, and you create a smooth, clear road for them to follow. Okay, on to Section 5, arguing your case. Now, to create that perfect guidebook, your language has to be absolutely crystal clear. And this is where so many of us, in an effort to sound academic, fall right into a really dangerous trap. The authors have this fantastic name for it. They call it thesiology. You know what this is. It's that super dense, complicated, tangled up language we all start using when we feel, as the book puts it, psychologically oppressed by the need to sound smart and impress our examiners. The only problem? It does the exact opposite. Just listen to this example of Thesis from the book. Implementation targets must be firmly established, and the market and political institutional impediments identified and rigorously addressed if meaningful progress is to be made. Wow. It's just a mess of abstract words and passive sentences. It sounds heavy, it sounds important, and it's completely impossible to understand.
So what's the translation? Here's the punchline, straight from the author in the book. Nobody knows what this means. And that's the point. Remember that. Being clear and using simple, direct language is always going to be more impressive than theses. Your goal is to be understood, not to sound like you swallowed a thesaurus.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now for Section 6, joining the scholars. So when you finally realize that your audience is just two people, that your writing is actually a tool for thinking, and that your main job is to tell a clear, compelling story, the true purpose of the thesis suddenly clicks right into place. Because ultimately, this whole thing, this entire process, is about earning your place. Passing this exam isn't just about getting a piece of paper. It's about being welcomed as a peer, as a colleague. It's proof that you can do the rigorous work and, just as importantly, communicate it clearly. This is your rite of passage into that community of scholars.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Once you stop seeing your thesis as some massive report for the whole world, and you start seeing it as a guidebook for just two examiners, what story will your thesis tell? What kind of journey are you going to create for them? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.